point for the defending champions. The kingdom on the up and up. Now we're going to see finally who's on the play, who's going to have that 2-pick swing. Liquid ID on blue.
Okay, and they do the same exact thing they did in game number 1. They take out the Bruno, they take out the Wan, and now the Eve is thrown into the mix, but the big difference for RRQ this time is taking out the Hilda. They learned their lesson after game 1 and 2, and now it's no, the Aaron Hilda's just too much to deal with. We're gonna get it off the map.
Aaron Hilda.
Aaron Hilda.
Because there's Aaron Shiki.
If there's no Shiki at the end,
then it's Aran.
It's Aran.
Understood.
Well, now the question is, do you pick the Cho up? No, they're going to go ahead and go in for the Zushin, which did walk. This is very
game
similar
one,
to game number 1, right? The Zushin walks because you go for that Wan pick off instead. And the Zushin was one of the deciding factors in how Team Liquid ID was able to secure victory.
So does Yehezkiel dictate the pace? Because this is one of the 2 problems that TLID need to solve. Does RRQ steal the Cho? Does Edok take the Cho right here, right now? Is it Chuyo?
I think you do. I think Chuyo. Chuyo's a solid up-front lineup, and it gives you flexibility. It gives you answers. The Wan and the Bruno are already gone. But then you do offer up that Granger, right? So maybe they lock in the Granger here. Aurora.
Sorora.
Yo. We're reaching now.
Almost. Why is the Aurora? Is the stopper that important? They're clearly, they're telegraphing the wall set up for King Skylar.
I feel like they're up to a sneaky play. I mean, even considering they picked up their mage, knowing that a mage was already on the table.
Yeah.
So they have something up their sleeves. They're not going to count it out just yet. But TLID, they're not going to waste any time on the draft. Going to go ahead and pick up this glue alongside the Alpha.
It's clear that their focus is still on Aran. They know that Aran is such a game changer, no matter what hero he picks. So, you know what? We'll still pick the glue.
I see it.
Flavor Flav throws all of the gloves off and it says, you know what, just give me the Alpha, give me an old favorite, and the answer, Dyren's Phoveus.
I'm wondering it, you know, I'm still in a place where the Phoveus doesn't look amazing to me right now. The Aurora doesn't look amazing to me right now. But depending on how they wrap things up, there are still plenty of possibilities. They do have first pick when it snaps back. I'm wondering, does TLID ban out the Granger right here and stop RRQ from getting that?
They have to. Yeah. Trex, that is key to understanding the big picture. We don't get it right now why they drafted this way, but you know what? I'm going to stand my ground and say this is still all set up for King Skylar. Like, that's why I think Liquid ID should start batting out whatever marksman hurts the most, because they're going to have to tell Aaron, just hunker down, brother. Aaron, you're going to have to pick whatever's left after we take out all the good marksmen in the second phase.
Yeah, and we still got to see the roamer for the side of RRQ Hoshi as well. The Cho being taken off the board. They already have great crowd control with the Aurora. What do they slot in here? I mean, even the Mathilda, I would have said, would have paired off good with the Phoveus, but with that being taken off the table by RRQ Hoshi, it really makes you scratch your head. And what do they have in store? They have some game plan for this 2-pick swing on the second phase of the draft. We got to see which way it goes. Even taking out the chip on top of that. Not too many marksmen available, though. Do we see the Beatrix come out? Do we see the Claude come out?
Trex, you're onto something. Even RRQ understands that it's really not Aaron that's the problem. It's that mid-duo, so they're continuing to attack Weedy.
Either now, listen, we know that at least Jushin you got the Jushin, but now let's see if we can force, because my mind was going to the same place. Well, last time we guessed Tig, but they didn't go Tig. Maybe they force Witty onto something like the Carmilla again, because what'd the little bird tell you?
Carmilla's like a nothing pick for Weedy.
It's when we don't know where to go.
It's what he gets when there's nothing left.
So do they save? So do they lock in marksman right now, or do they lock in the Tig for themselves on RRQ? Do they lock in something of that nature and save Skylar for very last possible counterplay pick? Last time they did that, it did not go well. They went for the Claude, so maybe you lock him in early.
That is the Jawhead now, going to the hands of Edok. So yeah, they are going to protect Skylar by picking him last. What's left on the board? The Beatrix,
Harith,
the Harith.
Oh,
I actually want to see the Harith on Aaron right now.
He played it earlier.
That's what they won the Jushin lineup with, the Jushin draft.
Game 1, Harith. It's all fitting into pieces for them.
He went 7-2-1.
Yeah.
Harith would be good, especially when you have heroes that can get up close and personal. Could definitely be a pick. Saving the best for last for Skylar, though, right? The veteran on the side of RRQ Hoshi. What is he going to lock in? There's already sustainability with the glue. There's great crowd control with the Zushin and the Alpha as well.
There it is.
There goes that Harith to be facing off against Skylar in the gold lane, matched up with the Belleric.
Yeah, I think the Belleric's a solid pick. It's a big change up from the Carmilla. Still something similar in a sense. Wants to get in, wants to throw down a big circle on everybody. But it kind of has a slightly different touch to it. You get some response. RRQ, Skylar. I don't know if he should. Don't do the Claude. All right. So we go into Beatrix, solid pick.
Well, this is different though from RRQ Hoshi, right? They're forcing TLID to really think through this draft, right? Even us scratching our heads when we see the Suyo and the Aurora picked up first, we're like, where are they gonna go? They could have got something more prio.
Let's see if this will unfold RRQ's way, or will TLID end the series right here? Let's go over to Ingan and Naisu.
Still a match point here for TLID. RRQ Hoshi, after a great previous game, can they do it again? Replicate what they brought? Looking at the lineups here, it's looking pretty good, looking solid, but I like what TLID brought this time around. How about you, Ingan?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the draft, no one actually went for the Cho, so TLID didn't go for the bait out because I know RRQ wanted to really bait out Widdy. Widdy to go for the Cho, and now they go with the Belleric, and just like what the panel said, the Jushin paired up with the Harith is what won them game number 1. So let's see if it's going to be the same result for this game.
Again, RRQ Hoshi has to win the game to get to game 5.
Welcome.
Both teams still fighting for that top 4 spot to join the other teams waiting in the wins. And which team will go down to the lower bracket to maybe claw their way back up? Team Liquid ID. With this lineup that we're seeing here, I find it interesting that, yeah, the Belleric coming out to play once again, but there's so much that they can utilize here if they want to go and scrap it out or fight it out. Because of the Belleric plus the Harith and then the Jushin, there's so much there that you can just lock down one area and win a fight. Not to mention the Spear of Alpha. So this time for RRQ Hoshi, utilizing the pick-off lineup that they brought, could work in their favor. You know, Edok, Concussive Blast, but most of the thing, every time I see the Jawhead, man, I do think, you know, it's a great hero to have, but it can also just, you're sometimes playing against yourself. When you lock in with that unstoppable force, you might put yourself in a position where, oh, you're cut off from your team, and then you just kind of get punished for that.
We saw that a lot of times, especially
a lot of
when
times.
It's up against the Fanny.
Yeah.
It's the unstoppable force in its name. It's not going to stop. And at the same time, you expect RRQ Hoshi to be as aggressive as possible in the early game, because again, you don't want to be on the receiving end if you have a Jawhead on your lineup.
It's interesting too, just because of, again, there's no Revitalize, you know, this time around for RRQ Hoshi. So another factor that they have to worry about because of the extended team fights that could break out, or the way that Team Liquid ID approaches those fights, knowing that they might have a little bit of more sustainability here. Widdy, though, look at the damage on him. It's going to be fine, should heal back up with this. Turtle's coming up, though. So a couple of the level 4s not available just yet, especially for the roams. Edok and Widdy, but it will get started up by TLID. Fabian holding the turtle there. Meanwhile, Susagen working on the purple buff. Will get here in time, though.
Okay.
How's the fight?
We're going to see if Edok goes in with the flicker. Goes after Fabian with the zone. Now RRQ Hoshi, they will get the first turtle in exchange for Dyren.
Okay, are they? Oh, they're still going. Hezkiel.
Okay, Crimson Beacon in. Trying to go for Susagen. Susagen dashes out. Now RRQ Hoshi, they got the turtle, but TLID answers right back with a kill.
They answer back. So trading from across the board here, but still, again, nothing too crazy, nothing too much of a lead. Of course, this matchup in the gold lane is going to be interesting. You know, Skylar getting that Beatrix locked in. There's the jump in, toss up. Oh, the lockdown as Yehezkiel's taken out.
Alley-oops away to Rins. Now Yehezkiel not starting out strong here. They're forcing Aaron, Shiki, and Widdy to rotate because they know they have to protect the purple buff for Fabian. Now RRQ Hoshi, again with the Jawhead pick, it's working wonders for them because so far they already have two great ejector plays. One that zoned out Fabian, and now one that pick up a kill onto Yehezkiel.
Fabian will get his purple buff, but the team had to help secure that up. Skylar, first item, a Malefic Gun, getting a little extra gold too. So we'll see. Like I said, he needs that range. You know, playing against the Harith in that gold lane, he's going to have to deal with it. Fabian jumping in.
Okay, Spear of Alpha. Trying to work on Edok. Unstoppable Force and Ejector. They're trying to work on Fabian. Here comes Arando, and Edok will fall down. A little bit too over-aggressive play from RRQ Hoshi. He's going to get punished by TLID.
Yeah, that's tough to toss up an alpha, you know, with Fabian here. And that's the thing I was talking about. You know, when you have this Jawhead, you have to choose your targets safely, you know, and correctly. But earlier on, he made the right play. This time around, gets punished, and now they find themselves with a minor lead for RRQ Hoshi, leading into the next objective coming up here soon. This is the one that obviously will break out, especially now that you have Witty looking to set up with the Wrath of the Dryad, and they can play into setup potential. I'm not sure if Aaron Shiki will actually join this fight, but it does look that Skylar might join this one. Kind of waiting there to see if he gets the call. Turtle's up. Susujin will go ahead, lock in that shot. Hezkiel takes a little bit of damage, but they go and get in position. Skylar will stay top side for now. And Rins picks up the glowing wand, first item priority here. They're going to test each other out, kind of posting up around this turtle, and right now Fabian's going to hold it. The rest of the team's going to set up the perimeter.
Okay, the XP lane is just trying to Zoga. Here comes the Unstoppable Force. Bridging Glacier is going to connect, but still Fabian will get the turtle. Now the attack of TLID. They're forcing out a lot of flickers coming in from RRQ. Araj is working on Rins. Yes, Gil with a lantern flare. Going to get picked up by Edok. Edok manages to stay alive. Aran split, but going to get caught up by 3. RRQ Hoshi again with 2 kills despite losing the turtle.
A great fight, you know, for RRQ Hoshi. Great exchange. Getting a couple kills. Even Skylar making his way. He used that flicker down too, but Rins, you know, not able to get taken down, and Susujin on top of it will now get the tier 1 in the bottom lane. Great starting off for RRQ Hoshi. Even if at the cost of a turtle, it doesn't really matter right now. They'll continue to put on the pressure. And it's up to Team Liquid ID now. Looking, there's the toss again.
Another throw, might be the wrong target. Able to cast the Wrath of Dryad, pick up the Frigid Glacier. Witty was able still to escape, and that's someone you don't want to throw, especially if you can't burst him down right away, as Fabian works on Susujin, forcing out the Retribution. Susujin will be able to walk away.
Oh, now look at this top side play. Aaron Shiki is going to have to rely on Hezkiel up here. At tier 1, nearly going down. Skylar still might be able to get it. There it is with the cannon minion. Turret down, so now RQ Hoshi with a space advantage on the map. 2 tier 1s down, and this has been a very aggressive Edok. You know, whether or not puts himself in a bad situation, it's enough pressure to keep TLID kind of second-guessing themselves, you know, on their entry points. More big items being picked up. Skylar taking a shot right there. Again, he's only got the Malefic Gun, still working on the BOD. And then even some of the defensive items also coming into play. Dyron got the Thunder Belt. You have, of course, the glowing wand for Rins. And then for Edok, he does have a Radiant Armor, as he's just going to be putting himself in that position.
Yeah, the beauty of the lineup of TLID is once Witty is able to cast the Wrath of Dryad in the perfect time and sets up a lot of members of RRQ Hoshi, they can just easily burst it down because of the fact that they have Fabian as well as Aaron Shiki, but Edok again, Unstoppable Force, Ejector, Flicker combination, forcing Witty to use the Revitalize, but a little bit too deep there as he will fall down in the hands of TLID. Now the counter attack coming in from RRQ. Rins, force to use the Frigid Glacier. Here comes Aaron Shiki with a Zaman Force. Tyron has to walk away here. TLID still standing strong with 5 members. Lantern Flare gonna connect onto Tyron, and they might be able to take down Witty with him, as Tyron will also fall down. Another kill for Fabian.
Oh, they're slowed so much. They're not able to get away from the fight the way they want to, but RQ Hoshi again coming out with nearly everything in that fight. Only the cost of Dyron and Edok. Edok jumped in, but that's all he needs to do. If he's enough of a distraction to toss someone to the whims, then that works out. Susujin now taking the purple buff. Now it's Susujin with a lead in this game against Fabian. They get the tier 1, so now all tier 1 turrets down. And even that tier 2 on the bottom side almost pushed in RQ Hoshi with a massive space advantage right now.
Yeah, and not to mention a 3.9k gold lead. That was a well-executed play coming in from RQ Hoshi, just Dyron literally being the sandbag, forcing TLID out of position once again. And again, started things off by Edok, the Unstoppable Force Flicker play, paired up with the Ejector. That was more than enough to set up RRQ Hoshi for that favorable trade.
It's really interesting, the fact that, you know, you think when you see these ultimates and the options available from TLID's lineup, that in those kind of team fights, they should be able to go ahead and win those fights based on their area of effect and the lockdown. But just looking at the itemization, you can see the difference here. Starlium Scythe and Feather of Heaven, not enough, but here's the breakout again.
Early split. Dyren casted already the Witty casted the Wrath of Dryad. Here comes the Frigid Glacier counterattack coming in from RRQ.
Wow.
They're gonna pick up two. Next man is Aran, and RRQ Hoshi just really wrecking havoc up against the cavalry.
Man, right now the kingdom is rallying together. Every single team fight they choose to take, there's no response so far from Team Liquid ID.
Yeah.
And even Skylar, the fact that he got this Beatrix, look at the shots on Aaron Shiki, keeping him in check right now. Man, TLID needs a lot of time to be able to go toe-to-toe against RRQ Hoshis.
Yeah. And it's also the same story once again, just Dyren being the sacrificial lamb for RRQ Hoshi to make sure TLID doesn't get the necessarily space that they want up against a team like RRQ Hoshi as they make quick work of this Lord once again, extending their lead to 6.5k, giving a hard time for TLID, and you would assume that they would actually have an easier time in terms of the early game because again they picked up Aaron Shiki with the Hadith, they also have Fabian with the Alpha that has true damage. So right now, what can you do? Because so far, even if Witty manages to catch the cast the Wrath of Dryad, there's always a response from Rince with the Frigid Glacier forcing TLID to retreat.
It's getting to that point where Skylar is locked and loaded. He is just zoned in. He's got a Sky Piercer now too. So Malefic Gun, a BOD Sky Piercer. And you already got a preview of how much that Renner shot is gonna hurt. And so it's great. I mean, if you think about it, like we were saying, you know, you set up those things around the Wrath of the Dryad. Well, Skylar's there based on whatever gun he decides to approach the fight with, but now walking in with the Lord here, again, a massive lead. They're gonna put the pressure now on the base turrets.
Okay, Wrath of Dryad gonna connect. Here comes the counter attack. Frigid Glacier once again! Aran is gonna fall down in the hands of Skylar. TLID trying to make quick work of the Lord. They will, however, save their mid lane inhibitor turret. But RRQ Hoshi, their attack might not be over just yet.
Skylar's just gonna go ahead and whittle down that mid turret. It does finally fall. Edok threatening them with the unstoppable force. He doesn't have the flicker, but he might still choose to go in. Top turret, next target here from RRQ Hoshi. They might just go ahead and go with a toss-up turret being worked on. Edok now on the front side, clearing out the minion waves while Skylar works on that, and now Aaron Shiki, whoa, the shot from Skylar!
Even with a Salmon Force! Misclick, mistargeted, and just got bursted down by the members of the kingdom. 5-man strong. Minions onto the middle lane. Rin flickers in, and they will be able to extend this series. Yes, Gil is the only one left, and RRQ never backs down, even against the cavalry.